Hey Scorpio, welcome to your weekly forecast for November 29th through December 5th. We're going to connect here and see what's coming up for the Scorpio collective, Scorpio sun, moon, and rising. You may stumble upon this video outside of the dates that I mentioned. However, you're going to find it whenever you were meant to find it, okay? Whenever it was time for you to hear the messages. These are general readings for the Scorpio collective. So not every single message is going to resonate. As always, take what does and leave what doesn't. We're going to see what is coming up here for Scorpio sun, moon, and rising. One more shuffle. All right, let's get right on into it, my dears. For our lovely Scorpio darlings, the first card coming up here is the Fool, Major Arcana. Major Arcana cards come up when we're coming into a significant new chapter in our life. The situation that you're dealing with is directly connected with what you came here to experience, what you came here to conquer, and what you came here to master. Okay? So it's in these times that your angels and guides are around you. They're helping you through this lesson, this growth. You're not alone. You have a spiritual support team around you. So you can't fail as long as you keep moving. The only way you're going to fail is if you just completely lay down and stop. And the Fool card is coming up because you're being called in a new direction. You're wanting to take this leap of faith. And your decisions and your plans might not make sense to a lot of people around you. They might be looking at you like, Scorpio, you have lost your mind. Why would you want to do that? Or why would you think you would even be good at that? I can't see you doing that. Well, guess what? You are who you say you are. You're not who they say you are. So I feel, Scorpio, like a lot of you are getting ready to make some big life changes. Really big life changes. To the point and to the extent that I feel 6 to 8 months from now, you might run into people from your past and they don't even recognize you. They're like, whoa, I didn't even recognize. And for some of you, there might be extreme changes in terms of like maybe you're really changing your physical appearance. Maybe like you're working out and you're bulking up, or you're like getting curvier, or you're losing weight, or there might be like a big physical change for some of you. But it's more than the physical change. And even those of you where it's not a massive physical change, there's this element of like the way that you walk, the way that you stand, the way that you speak is changing. Like you have this really bold energy all of a sudden. Maybe before you were really low profile. Maybe not like a mousy, timid person, but maybe kind of, like Scorpios. We Scorpios are sometimes said that we're secretive or we keep to ourselves. So maybe you were just really low key, right? You didn't come into a room and draw attention to yourself. You didn't hide, but you didn't like draw attention to yourself. You just kind of played it cool. I feel like there's something in your energy where people cannot help but notice you. You're standing out wherever you go because there's just something very impressive about your aura, your presence, like I said, the way that you carry yourself. And I feel like a lot of you Scorpios, you're just feeling like you're absolutely, totally, from the inside out, from head to toe, filled with light and surrounded by light. This is a powerful, powerful, powerful shift. And it's coming as a lot of you are taking steps that you feel inspired to take. Some of you are really tapping into talents and creativity that you didn't even know were there. and you've been scared to start. Somebody's been telling you that you should start painting, or you should start writing, or you should start playing around with mixing music, or you should start dabbling around with, like, making short films. And you're like, I've never done that before. I wouldn't know where to start. But it keeps popping up in your mind. And you're scared to do it because you're wanting to do it so perfectly that you're like, well, what if I start and I'm not good at it? This is the negative ego. The negative ego knows that it's going to bring about big change in your life. New people, new friendships, new connections, new relationships, new streams and avenues of income. And so the negative ego is terrified of this change and keeps you scared. Like, what if I'm not good? Or what if I don't do it right? Or, oh, it's probably going to be really hard and I'm not going to be able to figure it out. And Spirit is giving me the sense that once you get going, my goodness, you're like a fish into water. It's coming very naturally to you. You're like, wow, I didn't know I was going to be this good at this. So as you're dabbling into these new things, there might be people around you that are like, what? So you think you're going to be a DJ now? You think you're Picasso now? Oh, okay, so now you're Miss Cleo, right? They don't understand why you're wanting to do this, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're being pulled in this direction. As always, don't get carried away. Look before you leap. Have an action plan. Don't quit your day job if you don't have any other way of supporting yourself to put 24 hours a day into these new endeavors. Maybe you might leave a job so you have more time for these things, but you have something else lined up. Maybe you have independent contract work that you're going to do. Or maybe you're going to be doing some other kind of work that's going to bring in a solid income or a consistent income while you're working on these ideas or dreams. And so that you can give them time to really develop, really be fully formed. But I just feel like you're transforming and you're being really creative. The next card coming up here, Scorpio, is the King of Swords. Now, the King of Swords could be an air sign person. It could absolutely positively be you if you have an air sign placement. So air sign is going to be Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. Okay? King of Swords can be consulting an expert. So maybe as you have these ideas, you might be going and you might be consulting an expert, or you might be getting things made official or put down in writing. Maybe you're establishing an LLC or a corporation. Maybe you're getting permits and zoning licenses and things like that put into place. Those of you that are providing services, maybe you're having put together a release form that people are going to sign before you work with them. So you might be doing things to make things official, to protect your work, to protect your assets. King of Swords can also be here negotiating, coming up with agreements, okay? Finding the win-win situation for everybody involved. But as I'm looking at the King of Swords, I feel like this is you coming up with solutions. You're coming up with ways to dispel or diffuse, is it diffuse? Just to diffuse drama or conflict. I feel like some of you might be paying somebody money to go away. Maybe you're paying to get out of a lease, or you're giving somebody money to move on and do something and get themselves settled away from you, or to dissolve a partnership or something. You're buying somebody out, some of you. I feel this sense or this feeling that some of you might be giving somebody money voluntarily, you're choosing to do it, as a way to just speed up a process and make peace and be done with something. Not sure what this is about, but it's coming up for some of you. Your next card coming up here, Scorpio, wow, is the Queen of Swords. Ooh. Okay. Powerful energy. All right. So, having the King and Queen come together of the same suit can definitely indicate a sense or a feeling of like a partnership, like a powerhouse partnership. It doesn't have to be romantic. It can be a business partnership, a creative partnership, but this is somebody who sees things exactly the way that you see them and has the same priorities and wants the same outcome. It's like another you. And there's a sense of the masculine and the feminine balance here. Some of you might be coming into your own masculine and feminine balance while also being in that badass, no nonsense, logical, not being a pushover, swords kind of energy. The Queen of Swords does not suffer foolishness. The King of Swords is going to make the logical decisions. He's not going to make decisions out of feeling sorry for somebody. And in that way, somebody might think he's being cold. So you might be finding a way to have boundaries and have order in your life and be working towards what you're working towards your goals, but also having a balance of your masculine and feminine energy, right? So like, if you are a male, maybe in the past people would see this and be like, oh, you're being like a catty, feminine energy. You're being like a girl. You're being like all bitchy or something, or they might be saying rude things like that to you. If you are female, they might be like, oh, well, you know what? You're acting all like you're a dude or something. You're all acting like you think you're some alpha male, right? And they kind of like accuse you of these things. Now, this is just people being stupid and judgmental and saying dumb stuff, but it may have gotten to you. Like, I'm not behaving the way a man should behave, or I'm not behaving the way a woman should behave. Or you might be feeling like, well, you know what? I have more masculine energy that I'm comfortable with, or I have more feminine energy that I'm comfortable with. The King and the Queen of Swords is giving me the sense and the feeling of balancing the energies, where you feel balanced, where you're like, I feel good about this. I feel balanced on my masculine and feminine energies. I'm learning to use both to my advantage. I feel like I'm in a good flow. I feel also for some of you, this King of Swords and Queen of Swords is because of this balance that you're coming into and these boundaries, you're finally getting to work on projects or ideas that you've been wanting to do for a really long time now, but you couldn't because you had too many distractions. You had too many people pulling on you, coming into your space, needing something from you, and you're cutting it out. You're like, I'm not doing this anymore. And so now you have the time, the space, the energy to work on these projects, to work on these ideas, to explore these things you're feeling called to do. The next card coming up for you guys is the Devil. Now, some of you could be dealing with a Capricorn. And this is interesting, my dears, because Scorpio came up in Capricorn's reading. I remember that specifically. Capricorn got the Death card. And now Scorpio is getting the Devil card. So those of you who have Capricorn and Scorpio placements, right? This is a confirmation for you. This is emphasizing a point or emphasizing messages. But some of you are dealing with a Scorpio Capricorn situation here. Some of you Scorpios are dealing with a Capricorn. Some of you Capricorns are dealing with a Scorpio. Now, this would tell me that whatever is happening with Capricorn and Scorpio is involving boundaries. That boundaries are being set. That there's a lesson here in boundaries. Now, outside of the Capricorn energy, because some of you are like, nope, don't have a Capricorn placement, not a Capricorn in sight, don't know any Capricorns, I'm not going to be meeting any Capricorns, right? Put Capricorn aside. The Devil card is going to be a card here of overcoming the negative ego, overcoming the fear. Also, overcoming the desire for greatness, in the sense that you might start working on these projects and you might think, oh my gosh, before I was scared that I wasn't going to do good. That was just negative ego. I overcame the fear. I overcame the negative ego. Now I feel like I'm actually good at this. Oh my gosh, what if it become famous? Oh my gosh, what if I end up like on the TV and people are interviewing me and I'm like gonna go viral and I'm gonna have all these followers, and we start like daydreaming about it and we start thinking about, oh, I'm gonna have all this money and I'm gonna buy this kind of house and this kind of a car. Now, let me say something to you. This is the excessiveness. This is where now we're becoming really focused on the material. There's nothing wrong with having fun and daydreaming those things. Go ahead and daydream that you're famous. Go ahead and daydream that you're being interviewed. Go ahead and daydream that you're buying these houses and these cars and that you're viral and you have this huge following. Go ahead and daydream it, because you may actually manifest that. But here's what Spirit wants you to know. Don't you dare allow the desire for these things to cause you to alter or edit this creative process by changing things based on what you think people are gonna like, or what you think is gonna be popular, or what you think people are buying. Come into it with sincerity and be the channel. The creative process is channeling. You are taking something from Spirit and you're bringing it, you're birthing it into existence. Do not lose sight of the process. Don't filter it and edit it based on what you think might make you famous or what you might think will make you a ton of money. Don't do that. Also, do not put pressure on this, that if I don't become famous from this, or if I don't make millions from this, then it's not good. Then it means that the work is not good. That's not the case, because we see people who are very famous and have a whole lot of money, but not much talent. And we might be like, why is that song so popular? Why do people like that TV show so much? It's kind of nonsense. Being famous and making a ton of money doesn't necessarily mean you're good at what you do or that you're talented. It just means somebody gave you a platform, somebody's putting you out there, and you have advertisers and people who are using you to promote a certain mentality or a certain way of life. People are falling for some kind of marketing. Don't fall into the marketing. Do this organically. And fine, go ahead and fantasize and daydream about the money and the success and the fame. But don't put pressure that it has to come through this project. It can come to you through a different way. So that's all I'm going to say about that. I don't want to spend too much time on it. But I encourage you to meditate on that. Meditate on that. Pray about that. The next card coming up here is the Ace of Pentacles. An Ace of Pentacles lets us know money is going to be coming in. Most definitely. Contracts, agreements, offers, promotions, raises, business ventures, maybe even for some of you sponsorships, advertising sponsorships, things like this. Ace of Pentacles to me indicates like this increase in your living, like standard of living or quality of life. More money than you've ever made. Like this is the most you've made, or this is the most you've earned when I see the Ace of Pentacles. And obviously there's room to continue increasing. But most importantly, the reason why the Ace of Pentacles makes me so happy is a lot of the times when I see the Ace of Pentacles, this is telling me that you're breaking out of generational curses. And a lot of people right now are breaking out of the generational curse of feast or famine. You may have people in your family history where there's a cycle where they make it big, they're really successful, and then they lose everything. Or maybe growing up in your family, money was always feast or famine. You were either living really good, living it up, or, oh my gosh, we're going to bed starving. Hopefully we'll get some food soon. There's no money for shoes. There's no money for, school lunch or like whatever it is. It may have been very extreme. Either the money was really good or it was really scary times. And so a lot of you are breaking out of that crazy, erratic roller coaster financial energy. Don't get me wrong, money comes and money goes. Money fluctuates. Even for very wealthy people. Some businesses are going to have a record quarter where they make a ton of money, and then it might be kind of slow for a while. But they're not hurting. They're not terrified. They're not in danger of closing down. They're good. They have all the money from before. They can deal with some slow times. And so you're coming into this energy also of consistent stability, consistent flow. So it's exciting changes and exciting times. As you're breaking through these generational curses and lower vibrational inherited energies, as you're clearing that stuff, you might be tired. You might be physically tired. You might be drained. You might feel unwell. Okay? As you're shifting, as you're changing, as you're releasing, be gentle with your body. Do not push yourself too hard. As you're working on these projects and these ideas, yes, you're going to be in a hurry to get them done, but do them with joy, do them with inspiration, and balance it out with rest. Scorpios, we can be a little bit like we put our mind to something and we don't rest until it's done. Don't do that. Don't work around the clock on this. Or don't stay up every single night, all night, to hurry up and get it done. Balance the rest. Balance rest. Balance release. Enjoy the process. Don't rush the process. Okay? You may want to check out your moon sign and rising sign videos. Some weeks are going to resonate more than others. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you. If you go to calendly.com/amethystangelite, you can schedule a private reading with me there. Love and romance readings for December are linked in the description. My goal is to have every single 2022 forecast uploaded before December 1st. So you're going to be seeing those popping up in the next 24 hours. It depends on how fast my internet is. So hopefully they'll all load, but internet's kind of been hit and miss for me. But I am working on those as well. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Have a wonderful week, my dears. Take care.